So the Sony ULT Wear are Sony's new Mid Tier ANC headphones for summer 2024, and overall these are a solid pair of Mid Tier ANC headphones because they sound great, they block out a decent amount of noise, they're very comfortable to wear, and they come included with a hard shell case. But today we're going to see how they stack up to both the Beats Studio Pros and the Beats Solo 4s, headphones that I feel I see too often at the gym because people don't know better, and hopefully we can change that today. So first, there's price. The Beats Studio Pros retail for $350, which I feel is theft, but you can easily find them on sale for $250, and on shopping holidays, they can go for as low as $200. Then there are the Beats Solo 4s, and these have a retail price of $200, but they can be found on sale for $150. And then there are the Sony ULT Wear, and these retail for $200, but they like to go on sale for $180. Overall, I highly recommend the Sony ULT Wear over these other two headphones. So if you want to pick these headphones up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a big head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. So first, there's the case. Now, all of these headphones come included with a carrying case. However, the Sony ULT Wears have a premium feeling hard shell carrying case, whereas the Beats come included with carrying pouches. So with Sony's case, you don't have to worry about your headphones getting crushed if you pack them in a cramped backpack. Whereas with the Beats, you do. And personally, I think it's very insulting that the Beats Studio Pros don't come included with a hard shell case, given that these are priced as a pair of premium ANC headphones. So case-wise, the ULT Wear are easily the winners here. But with case out of the way, let's talk about the headphones themselves. Design-wise, the Sony ULT Wears have a fully collapsible design to them, and their ear cups have a lot more range of motion because they pivot and swivel a lot. Whereas the Beats, first off, these headphones don't have a fully collapsible design, and their ear cups have very limited range of motion. So the design of these headphones results in two key differences. First off, since the Sony ULT Wear are fully collapsible, they have a smaller and thinner carrying case, whereas the Beats cases are noticeably thicker. But when it comes to overall comfort, since the ULT Wears have a lot more range of motion, their ear cups are able to sit more naturally on your head. Whereas with the Beats Studio Pros, these ear cups feel like they're applying more pressure to the anterior portion of your ears, making them feel less natural. But also, there are the ear pads on these headphones. The ear pads on the Sony ULT Wear are very spacious and they're very deep, so you're going to have no problem fitting most ear types, and even if you have very large ears or ears that stick out a lot, these will have you covered. Whereas with the Beats Studio Pros, these ear pads are very shallow, so even if you have normal sized ears, these will press down on your cartilage, and that gets uncomfortable after a while. And then there are the Beats Solo 4s, which are on-ear headphones, meaning that these are just less comfortable than these other two headphones because they literally rest on your ears. But also, the headband on the Sony ULT Wear has a lot more padding, so hotspots aren't an issue for these headphones. Whereas with both of these Beats headphones, since these headphones are so minimally padded, hotspots are an issue after like 30 minutes. And finally, there's just the clamping force on these headphones. Both the Beats Studio Pros and the Beats Solo 4s have a lot of clamping force to them, making them not big head approved. Whereas the Sony ULT Wears have a looser fit to them, and they are big head approved, and even if you like to wear hats, these will have you covered. So overall, the Sony ULT Wear are just a lot more comfortable than either of these two Beats headphones because their ear pads rest more naturally on your head, their ear pads are a lot more spacious, their headband has a lot more padding, and they have a looser fit. Now, when it comes to tech specs, the Beats Studio Pros have an advertised battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on, and with their active noise cancellation turned off, they have an advertised battery life of 40 hours. And the Beats Solo 4s, these have an advertised battery life of 50 hours, but these do not have active noise cancellation. But then there are the Sony ULT Wear, and these have an advertised battery life of 30 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on, and with their active noise cancellation turned off, they can go for as long as 50 hours. And when it comes to charging these headphones, they all charge via a USB-C port, as they should. However, with both of these Beats headphones, you can use their USB-C port as a wired connection, whereas with the Sony ULT Wear, their USB-C port is strictly used for charging. However, all of these headphones have an audio jack and they all come included with an audio cable. Looks like Apple learned their lesson. So with all of these headphones, you can use them with a wired connection. However, with the Beats Studio Pros, you cannot use these headphones passively. Even if you want to use these headphones with a wired connection, they have to be powered on. Whereas with both the Beats Solo 4s and the Sony ULT Wears, these can be used passively. And I feel that this is very important to keep in mind, either if you're a constant flyer and you want to be able to connect your headphones into the airplane's in-flight entertainment system, even if your headphones are dead, or if you're a content creator. But when it comes to overall connectivity, the Sony ULT Wear can be simultaneously connected to any two Bluetooth devices regardless of ecosystem. So you can easily hot swap from, let's say, your Windows PC to an iPhone. Whereas with both of these Beats headphones, they're also great options for power users, but hot swapping between your different devices isn't as seamless as with Sony's headphones. But when it comes to overall performance, all of these headphones have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, both of the Beats Solo 4s and the Beats Studio Pros only have support for SBC and AAC, which is perfectly fine. However, the Sony ULT Wears have support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC, which is Sony's own in-house high-res audio codec. Just keep in mind that if you do want to use LDAC, you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. Also, if you do decide to use LDAC on these headphones, then they can only be connected to one device at a time. And if you do decide to use LDAC on these headphones, LDAC does take an additional toll on the battery life. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Now with both the Beats Studio Pro and Beats Solo 4, you can't directly adjust their EQ to your liking. But with the Beats Studio Pros, if you use them with a USB-C wired connection, you can choose from a few different pre-made EQs. It's weird. But both of these headphones have a stock bass-heavy EQ, and personally, I like how these headphones sound. Their bass resonates deep and clean, and there's even a decent amount of kick to them. But more importantly, even though these headphones have a bass-heavy EQ, they still have good instrument separation, the vocals are well defined, and they never sound hollow or muddy because of all of their bass. These headphones sound good and they're fun to listen to. And both of these headphones have support for spatial audio, so they'll track your head and they can make it sound like you're in the middle of your music if you move your head around. But personally, I think the whole head tracking thing is a gimmick, so I just use them with their spatial audio set to fixed. But then there are the Sony ULT Wear. Now these don't have the whole head tracking thing and I don't care. But more importantly, the Sony ULT Wear have better instrument separation than both of these Beats headphones, so they sound more open. But also you can go in and you can adjust their EQ to your liking. If you like a neutral EQ or brighter EQ, you can do that. Or if you like a bass heavy EQ, you can also do that. But also these are able to just put out more bass than the Beats. Now the bass on the ULT Wear is mostly on the audible side, as in you can definitely hear it, but you're not going to feel it as much as with their predecessors. However, if you crank their bass up to 10 and if you have them set to ULT 2, then they are going to rattle your head a little more than the Beats Studio Pro. So overall, I enjoy how the Beats Studio Pro and Solo 4 sound. However, the Sony ULT Wear are a lot more versatile because you can adjust their EQ to your liking. They sound more open and they have more physicality in their bass than the Beats Studio Pro. But when it comes to the MIDI controls on these headphones, the Beats are using physical buttons and some people just prefer physical buttons on their headphones. That's fine. But personally, I don't like the layout of the buttons on the Beats because I hate that you have to press the ear cups into your head, and plus they're on the left side. Whereas with the Sonys, these are using a touchpad. Now these touchpads are very easy to use and they're very accurate, but sometimes there can be mistakes. But at least these touchpads are on the right ear cup and you don't have to jam them into the side of your head. But also, the Sony ULT Wears are the only headphones here that have wear sensors, so they'll automatically pause your music when you take them off and when you put them back on, they'll start playing your music again. Now, personally, I don't really care for wear sensors on my headphones, so I usually just turn them off, but they're there if you want them. And again, neither the Beats Studio Pros or the Beats Solo 4s have wear sensors. But something that the Beats do have is Hey support, which can definitely be super useful, because this way you can just simply tell Siri to control your music with your voice, or you can just ask it to do something. But then there's the active noise cancellation on these headphones. First off, I was surprised when I realized that the Beats Solo 4s don't have active noise cancellation given their price. And even though the Beats Studio Pros are priced as a pair of premium ANC headphones, these block out as much noise as a pair of entry-level ANC headphones. But so that you can see for yourself, we're going to go ahead and jump into an ANC test. So like we have just seen, the Sony ULT Wear block out noticeably more noise than the Beats Studio Pros, and the Beats Solo 4s don't even have active noise cancellation. Now the ANC on the Beats Studio Pro is useful for like your bus ride commute, but if you plan on going to the gym with your headphones, or if you plan on getting some work done while in the cafeteria, then you'll want to go with the Sony ULT Wear. And also, I just feel so bad for people on airplanes using Beats, because they clearly don't know what they're missing. Now, the ANC on the Sony ULT Wear can be useful while in an airplane. However, if you do plan on flying a lot with your headphones, then you'll still want to go with either the XM5s or XM4s, because they have built-in atmospheric pressure sensors, which is going to help their active noise cancellation perform a lot better while at cruising altitude. But nonetheless, if active noise cancellation is very important to you, then you'll definitely want to go with the Sony ULT Wear over the Beats Studio Pros. But then there's the ambient mode on these headphones. Again, the Solo 4s don't even have an ambient mode, but the Beats Studio Pros and ULT Wear do. However, the ambient mode on the ULT Wear sounds more natural than the ambient mode on the Beats Studio Pros. Plus, you can adjust it to your liking. But also, the ULT Wear have quick attention, where if you fully cover the touchpad on these headphones, they're going to lower the volume of your music and pump in all of the ambient sound around you, so that you can quickly talk to someone without having to remove your headphones. And then when you let go, the headphones will go back to normal again. Now, I love when headphones have this type of feature, because it's great, especially if you're traveling or flying with these headphones. However, I would like it for Sony to change it so that when you have the touchpad covered for over 5 seconds, the headphones will lock themselves into quick attention mode, and then you can just let go of the touchpad. Because right now, you do have to keep the touchpad covered the whole time. And this does get a little uncomfortable and a little awkward after a while. But nonetheless, even though I think quick attention can be improved on these headphones, I still really like this feature, and it's super useful, especially when you're flying with these headphones. And again, this is a feature that the Beats just don't have. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, the microphone on the ULT Wear sounds decent while in a quiet room, but this is an area where the ULT Wear can't compete with either of these Beats headphones. First off, the microphone on the Beats Solo 4s does a much better job of focusing on my voice than the Sony ULT Wear. And the microphone on the Beats Studio Pro does an even better job of focusing on my voice. But where the Beats Studio Pros really outdoes the Sony ULT Wear here is when it comes to dealing with noise pollution. Because right now, these are doing a great job of blocking out all of this road noise. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're gonna clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Beat Studio Pro, it is severely reduced. Now, the Beat Solo 4s are also doing a decent job of blocking out this road noise, but they are letting in more noise pollution. And then there are the Sony ULT Wear, which are trying to block out this road noise, but there is a considerable amount of interference going on with my voice. And it's the same thing when it comes to blocking out chatter. They're trying to reduce this noise pollution, but there is a considerable amount of interference going on with my voice. Whereas with the Beat Solo 4s, these are doing a better job of reducing this chatter. But then here are the Studio Pros. Now, these are trying to reduce all of this noise pollution. However, there is some interference going on with the voice. But for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the Studio Pros, it is reduced. Overall, the Beat Studio Pros do struggle a little bit when it comes to blocking out chatter, but in general, the Beat Studio Pros do have a much better sounding and performing microphone than the Sony ULT Wear. But with all that being said, even though the Sony ULT Wear clearly has a lot of room for improvement when it comes to its microphone, I feel that everything else about the Sony ULT Wear is superior to the Beat Studio Pro and Beat Solo 4. Fit-wise, the Sony ULT Wear are a lot more comfortable because they sit more naturally on your head, their ear pads are a lot more spacious, and their headband has a lot more padding. The sound of these headphones is a lot more versatile than both Beats. They also sound more open, and they have more bass than the Beat Studio Pro. The Sony ULT Wear also block out noticeably more noise than the Beat Studio Pro, and they come included with a hard shell case, and they're more affordable than the Beat Studio Pros. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.